What are we doing? What?
Oh dear. Hello. Do you want to say welcome, welcome, welcome?
No, it's not one of mine. It's one of yours.
Yeah, I know,
You
but still, it's not the same if you don't say
welcome, welcome, welcome.
that. Thank you. Oh man, I do not have the C word. Apparently, things get taken off of YouTube if you mention it. But
See, I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking the actual C word. I think
yeah,
really.
yeah, I,
So
I don't have that either. Right, okay. So what we're gonna do? Oh, oh, it's telling me that we're doing stuff. Right, okay. We are testing this platform. So what we're gonna do is just a mess around sort of thing, really. But we're gonna talk about classic fuzz tones and just see what we can come up with because I've got a fuzz face style fuzz here and a delay and I'm going to chuck my amp on, and we can talk about how they react into low gain, how they react into high gain. We can just try everything, really.
we're talking about fuzz, yeah.
Talking about fuzz, baby.
Um, okay. I mean, you've just gone really blurry.
Sorry.
I am going to talk a little bit about. Can you see this? That's in front of me here.
Yep, that's your oral one, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's the pedal is called the Purely Fuzz, which is not a fantastic name for a pedal. The company is called Oral Dream.
Which is
Again,
oh, no.
it's not a great name. This was kindly sent to me by Mr. John Max Gibbons
Oh,
from
Johnson.
the War. Yeah,
Okay.
from the War Mike
Hey,
podcast.
hang on, isn't
Who
his name Max John Gibbons?
he's Queen Latifah on the podcast. But yeah, so he sent me this along. He got this through because he subscribed to the 60 Cycle Hum Patreon,
All right.
the Inner Circle, and they sent him through this. He promptly sent it directly to me, and I got to try it. And I mean, you've listened to the video. What are your opinions of it? So before I give mine, what do you think about this pedal?
Um. Uh,
Do you think it's as good as the name?
I skipped through the video to look at your camera work. I didn't have time. I've been trying to work on this all day, but I did
Right.
hear it briefly, and I didn't think it sounded. I didn't think it was the best fuzz I've ever heard.
Yeah, and I think I shared it with Max in the comment section of that video actually, and he said it sounds quite usable, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'd class this as. So it's got
Does that mean it
um,
turns on and it works?
yeah, I mean yeah. So the nicest thing you can say about it is that it does the job. It's not going to be your go-to. It's not going to be the thing that you go. This is the tone that you must get, but
Mm.
it works. It's a bit like a distortion more than anything. So it reminds me more of the kind of Muffy territory than it does of quote unquote vintage fuzz, which this purports to be. But it's got two settings. It's got LED mode and it's got silicon diode mode. And in the silicon mode, it's a lot more squashed and a lot more compressed. Whereas the LED, it only just barely gets up to that kind of distortion territory. And if you wind the fuzz back quite a bit, it actually becomes quite a nice bluesy overdrive pedal. Um, but yeah, I
Okay.
thought like
Well,
if we
that's something about fuzzes that I wanted to have a chat about today because you can get some really nice tones coming out of fuzzes that aren't um, Hendrix at Woodstock. Oh
they're
god.
not like cranked Marshall with fuzz in front, just completely obliterating your tone. I mean, in the best possible way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
It's Oh, I think we're stuttering a little bit because it says we're down to 8 11 frames per second. That's a bit of a worry, isn't it? How are we coming across on here? Let me just turn this up.
I'm not.
I think we're
stuttering a little
bit because it says we're down. No, it seems fine.
I'm not getting us live through Facebook at the moment. Sorry, through YouTube.
I am. I'm watching it now. I'm just watching it for any
Inconsistencies.
no comments.
Okay.
But yeah, let me put my phone on charge.
Yeah,
But let me grab a Strat and we'll have a listen to some of these tones. Be 2 seconds.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, I'll show a couple more fuzzes that I've got going on here. So this is one that I've not demoed yet, and there's a reason I haven't demoed this, and that's because it doesn't work too well. I think there's something wrong with the pot maybe, and it cuts in and out. And if you get it set just right, it can be fine. But I really wanted to demo this because it's actually, if you crank both the level and the fuzz, it sounds pretty good. So it's supposed to be based on a germanium fuzz face, and at full whack, it sounds pretty decent.
So what's that, a single knob fuzz, or is that a little knob at the top of it as well?
Yeah, there's a little knob at the top, so it's got a volume and a gain essentially, and it's Moore's take on the germanium fuzz face, but they've also got a blue one called the it might just be called the blue phase. I can't remember. Okay. But so you've got the silicon one in the blue one, and then you've got the germanium one in the grey one.
That's cool. Right, let me just test the levels of this because I've been playing the Les Paul all day. So looks like it's going to be fine. Okay, so at the moment we've got this going into an amp which is well, it's a crunch channel, but the gain's turned all the way down.
Mostly.
Turn that up a little bit, just gives a little bit of break up. Gives us quite a bit more volume as well. Okay. So this particular fuzz, when I kick it on, it's probably going to kick the volume through the roof. And the reason for that, I'll show you. Let's go like that. So hopefully you can hear everything still. Oh, do you know what?
Tell me what this is because I can't see that.
It's the classic 108 fuzz. So it should come up on the on YouTube in just a second. But I need to add audio input, and I need to add the guitar to this channel.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to get really loud. So let's just hear, and that's because of the way I've got it set up. Because for my money, that's the best way to have this this particular pedal set up. Now that sounded like turd. So yeah. let's see what we can do about that. Let's try adjusting the amp a little bit. And
there's a lot of squealing there, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice, was it?
No. That sounded a bit better.
That's not sounding too great. That's interesting. Let's turn it off of the... That's going to sound better, but we need to turn the overall volume up. So this particular beast. It's like many fuzz faces, and it just sounds really, really good when you've got it turned all the way up. More so when it's running at really high volume as well. How's that coming through for you? How does that sound?
It sounds alright.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's really bass heavy.
It's bassy, is it? Okay. It's
Yeah.
not as bassy in the room. Mind you, I've got headphones on. Let's have a listen. Yes, it's not as bassy in the room, so but that's you haven't really got an EQ on here. There is a buffer switch, but so that's the overall sound of that. That's running through a clean channel, as we showed you. If you run it into a crunch channel, it doesn't sound very good. If you run it into a distorted channel, it sounds like arse. It really does. So run it into a clean amp with tons of headroom. It's a 100-watt amp we've got here, and it sounds good. But let's look at like little tricks that you can get away with, so we can like just dial back the volume on the guitar a bit. That's quite a nice tone, that.
Yeah,
that's a nice bluesy tone. What other tricks have we got with fuzzes?
I either run them into a gain amp, but if this is a pedal that doesn't do that very well, sometimes you can run a drive pedal into them to sculpt at the front end and give it a bit more of a push.
Okay.
Or you can run the fuzz into like a tube screamer or something and really tighten up some of the, because fuzzies tend to be really have really thick low end.
Yeah. Okay, I'll switch over to a gainier sound. Give me a sort of idea. Are we looking at Mesa Boogie sort of gain, or are you looking at like JCM 800 sort of gain?
It's just a crunch channel kind of.
A crunch, like, okay.
A very, very modest kind of classic rock rhythm.
Okay, right. Let's go back onto that one then, and. Right, I think if we come over onto the other channel.
Yeah, and bring the gain down on that a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the sort of thing you're talking about. Now let's dial down the fuzz on here and maybe the volume as well. And just see what sort of difference it makes from start, and then see how we can dial it in to make a difference. So I'll play a chord and then I'll click it in. So obviously we get nothing. Take it up to unity. So it does thicken up the tone. It's not what I would personally go for though. Shall I see what it sounds like on the in-between pickup between the neck and the middle? So that's my favourite setting on the old Strat. So let's you can almost get those sort of Deep Purple sort of tones, like the and all that sort of thing. Because that's
Yeah.
quite a bassy sort of tone that Albridge had, wasn't it?
Yeah, quite a driven tone for a lot of his career.
Yeah, quite a driven tone, you say?
Mid-rich.
Mid-rich tone. Yeah. Of course, now everything's on acoustic. So, have you listened to Blackmore's Nights?
I've heard a few. Yeah. Very, very, very much a departure from his Deep Purple days.
Yeah, they do some covers though, don't they? They do a few covers here or there.
Yeah, so I hear.
For my money, I think the Fuzz, this particular Fuzz at least, is better. Remember, like every rig's going to be different. I think it's better into the clean channel.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to get those sort of Sabbathy sort of sounds. So if I come back here and huh?
I was just singing along with you.
Oh, I'm gonna play what is it? Supernova. What is it? The Oasis song. Something Supernova. Champagne.
Supernova.
Yeah. Oh. Say that again.
So I thought we were getting some Sabbath riffs.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was something playing up with the amp, but it's not so much. Must have been my ears. Yeah, so. You know, it's.
Yeah, carry on.
There's this way of turning that into the Fleetwood Mac. You know the. Yeah, it's huh?
Can't help but the shape I'm in. I can't sing, I ain't pretty, my legs are thin. Love that tune.
Yeah, I do. Did you see that? Did you see the gig they threw for Peter Green?
No, when was that?
It was about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was done by Mike Fleetwood. But he had everyone there. Everyone was on stage, and we're talking about Dave Gilmour. We're talking about
Oh, nice.
Mark Knopfler. Jesus, there was loads of people there. I can't think of everyone. But yeah, it was James Weil went there. Lucky git. He always gets to go to things like that. But let's. I want to show you some sort of some of these lovely tones with a bit of delay on there. So we don't need much in the way of mix. Let's turn the modulation on.
There we go. Let's turn it up a bit there. We'll give it a bit more intense. Give it some echo.
Yeah, man.
I've got this one as well. This delay kicking about.
Huh?
I said I've got this delay kicking about. And it was really good until it stopped working too well.
What was it?
Called a Tom's line.
Tom's
Len.
line.
Tom's line. ADL1, and it sounded all right until it just stopped working.
Oh, okay.
I might repurpose it. I might take it out and put a fuzz pedal in it or something.
Well, do you know what went wrong with it?
No, it just keeps cutting between a normal volume and then an attenuated volume.
Oh.
Very Brian May.
I was just thinking more Dave Gilmour, you know, if they...
It definitely doesn't go with harmonic minor there.
No, it don't. I was like, hang on, where's it go from here? My favourite is the... Just that... You know, where it's got da 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 da, just that little arpeggio is just...
Yeah, it's got some nice little arpeggios in that, actually.
Yeah, it's really, really sweet. He slides a lot of them as well, doesn't he?
Yes.
Oh.
Obviously, it's been many moons since I've played that solo.
That's one of my favourite songs, that is. Our mutual friend Stuart Tate put up a post the other day saying that is this actually the best song ever written. I'd go for that.
Nah, not for me. Not for me. I like concise and to the point, whereas Pink Floyd are more meandery and they luxuriate in their own time.
Yeah, no.
To each their own, to each their.
Well, I love
it. It takes a good minute and a half before any actual music comes in that song. So
yeah, and you get all this sort of thing going on, don't you? You get the sort of.
boom, boom.
Yeah. It is. It's minor, isn't it?
The moments that make up all day.
It's got some nice chords in that song. It's got some really nice jazzy stuff. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's got the D major 7 in it. Oh.
Yes, it's a lovely, lovely song. That it really is. Do you want to hear the difference this buffer makes on this pedal? It's an interesting one because, like, obviously buffers and fuzzes, especially like old style fuzzes, you kind of like avoid buffers, and this one's got like a little button on it. Goes, oh, look, do what I say.
Yeah, carry on.
You've got
yeah, that's really pleasant, nice.
Didn't like that, did it? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't add a buffer to an old fuzz.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you ever had a carbon copy?
The closest I've come to a carbon copy is
Public
the
toilets.
Joyo. The Joyo analog delay is pretty close. Doesn't have the mod setting.
Right. Okay. It's possibly my favourite delay of all time. It's such a wonderfully great sounding pedal. It just turn a bit of tone down on it in here.
That's it. That's the blues right now.
It's really is lovely. It does all the like oscillation stuff as well, you know. So.
Yeah.
That wasn't the pedal. That was next door's pitbull. I really love that. You know that. If you put the fuzz into it, what you end up getting is you end up driving that the oscillation a little bit harder as well. That sort of delay where you've got like really high pitch and it's kind of really getting that where it's just on the edge of oscillation. That's the godfather of shimmer. You know, that really is the sort of thing that eventually, you know, people are like, well, I really like it because I can get these sort of ambient sounds, but what can I do to kind of make it a little bit like
yeah, you can almost hear the overtones coming out, can't you?
Yeah, I could probably get it a little bit closer. And it's like someone's really liked that, but thought, can I go and make that any better?
Yeah, can I get a pedal that does that without having to push it to the extremes?
Yeah. And, you know, someone's kind of created it and gone, yeah, and I shall call this shimmer. Oh, smacking that drum again. So, okay, right, what else can we do with fuzzes that we may not have spoken about today? So, you can play them balls out, so you can get your Sabbathy sort of sound. This really does do it better. You get all that sort of thing. You know, we know we can get that. We also know that they clean up really nicely, so we get the. I think it really sounds like that sort of sound kind of sounds really good for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's most likely what he did. I think that's what he does these days. It's a rolled down volume, and then it's whack it up for the solos. What you can do with Fuzz as well is the old octave. I've got a green ringer style octave here with a null mod.
I've got 2 octavers. You've got one of them, and the other one's sitting underneath my board, hidden. So I can't chuck one in at the moment, unfortunately. But what's this one you have there?
And that's based on the green ringer. They're usually like a tiny little unit, aren't they? One of the ones that kind of clip onto the belt. I can't remember who made them. Dan Armstrong, is it?
Dan Armstrong, as in the pickup maker.
It might not be. Who is it? Who is it that makes them? Also makes the orange comp as well. I can't remember anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Green ringer is the kind of analog octave up, and they sound really good with fuzzies. You've got your octave downs as well, which something like that would do very nicely.
We've had a couple of highs, hellos, one from Graham Dixie and one from Hank Hill. Graham Dixie said, "Hi, I feel like I'm intruding." Nice to meet you, man. And Hank Hill said, "Hey, what's up, guys?" So nice to meet you both. We are kind of testing this format because we want to. Do you know what? I think I know why we didn't end up on Facebook. I think they've said to me that you had to click go live. Let's just click go live on that. I know we're going in halfway through, but yeah, I think we're live on Facebook as well now. That's really interesting. Yeah, you check that. I'll stay on whatchamacallit here.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Groups.
I'm gonna play a big D to E bend.
We are on Pedalboards. So very Gary Moore.
That was just to celebrate that we're live on more than one place. Got loads of people coming in to view it now. Sorry, people on Pedalboards of Doom. We are actually at the end of our video and we forgot to hit go live for Facebook. We're now currently streaming to Facebook and to YouTube, 2 YouTube channels at the same time. This is very exciting times for us. So myself and my colleague here, Budget Pedal Chap, who just dropped out and is now back, we shall be doing many more live streams. But just to reiterate, we were talking about fuzzes. If you want to see the rest of it, it will be live on our YouTube channel, so go and check it out there. But this is one of the tones that we came up with.
Roll the volume back to release a kind of crunchy overdrive on the Fuzz.
Yep. Or turn it up, kick it onto the neck picker, bridge pickup, and you can get up. And we also put this into oscillation, but just off of oscillation.
You can hear it just about to go there. It's just got the harmonic is just kind of almost sneaking in, and then it just dies off.
Yeah. It's just a really interesting sound, and chuck it into that awesome position, between the neck and the middle position. You get that almost twangy sort of sound. I'll turn the mix up a little bit.
Nice.
It's gone.
Still going,
yeah, it's gone. Turn the mix up too high. But what you've got there is that you've got almost like a trumpety sort of sound, but you've got the kind of ethereal sort of going on of ethereal, goings on of the oscillation. Chuck the modulation on there; it should sound really good, actually.
That seems like as good a place as any to wrap up that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's cool. Right, okay, so we'll try and catch you every other day. We've got our standard live stream anyway on Sunday, but we're going to try and catch you as much as possible to try and bring you as many live streams in this crappy period that we're all going through. So, ta-ra from me.
Ta-ra a bit. It's your live stream. You've got to wrap it up, mate.
It's our live stream, my friend. Our live stream. So, right, yeah, okay. I'm Lee of Pedalboards of Doom, and I do all the Pedalboards of Doom stuff. And you are?
Mr. Budget Pedal Chap of Fret Salt Podcast, of YouTube fame, of just catch me anyway. If you type in Budget Pedal Chap, chances are I probably own that handle. I mean, the thing we were talking about earlier was the No Talk All Tone series, which is a series of YouTube videos which are based around me not doing what I'm doing now, which is talking way too much, and just showing the tone of a pedal. So it's almost like a brilliant video. If you were considering buying the pedal, you could just look at that video and go, well, this is like the scope of the controls. This is what it does, and generally how to use it. And yeah, the Fret Salt podcast happens live in Pedalboards of Doom, and happens once every week on a Monday. So Apple, we do iTunes, we do Acast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of these good ones. Castbox, I think we're on as well. Just check them out.
Dude, we didn't want your life story. Come on, man. Right, okay. Right, see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Ta-da a bit now. Ta-da.